Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Now I've just had a look at what's coming up next week on Coronation Street and honestly I had to take a deep breath. We talk a lot about the drama and the arguments, but next week the street is facing something truly heartbreaking. It's a special single story episode focusing on David and Shona Platt, and I think we all need to prepare ourselves. This is going to be tough viewing. David and Shona face their worst fear. So the week actually starts with classic David drama. He gets into a blazing row with Kit, that copper, remember, down at the precinct, and he ends up pushing past him. Naturally, that leads to David being arrested for assaulting a police officer, which means he completely misses picking Shona up for her scan. It's all a mess. But Kit actually has a moment of common sense and drives David to the hospital himself. Now imagine that relief. He makes it. They're looking at the screen and you think, okay, everything's fine. Just a bit of a bumpy start. But then the sonographer just stops. They tell David and Shona that their unborn daughter has been found to have a mass on her neck. Can you even imagine that moment? The floor must just fall away. Later in the week, that special episode focuses entirely on them going to speak to the consultant. We see it all from Shona's perspective, and she is absolutely at breaking point because she sees David being all casual about it. He's joking, he's trying to keep things light, and Shona just loses it. She orders him out of the car and says she doesn't want him there at the hospital. But we know, don't we? David is only doing that because he's terrified and trying to stay strong for her. The news from the consultant is devastating. It's a tumour, and there's the possibility that their daughter could have cancer. If Shona decides to continue with the pregnancy, the doctors are talking about complex surgery. This is just awful. Viewers might remember when they went through that tough time with Lily and the drugs years ago, but this is a whole different level of panic. My heart truly goes out to them. Let's hope they can lean on each other even when they're both putting on a brave face.
It's not just the Platts having a hard time. Fizz Dobbs is really crumbling under the pressure of looking after Tyrone, who's still recovering. When Ty tries to step in to break up an argument between Ruby and Hope, and those two can certainly scrap, can't they? It's clear how much she's carrying. The stress finally explodes at work. Fizz has a proper meltdown and starts hitting her sewing machine in frustration. She finally admits to Izzy, Kirk and Michael that she's completely stressed out and struggling to cope. Now, Izzy and Kirk are good people, so hopefully they give her a bit of support. The next day, Michael, bless him, lets slip to Tyrone about Fizzy's behaviour. Ty's a decent fella. He wants to start providing for his family again. He proposes going to work in the garage office. But here's the problem. Kevin is completely out of sorts after his separation with Abby and just shuts him down, saying he's going straight back to bed and isn't opening the business. It's just another setback for Fizz. I can't believe they're going there again with Fizz being under this much pressure. This could really shake things up for their family if she can't find a release for this stress. Now, if you're still watching and you're nodding along to all this drama, thank you so much. It really means a lot. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button right now. It's completely free and it means you won't miss any of our next week's spoiler breakdowns. Right, let's get back to the good stuff, or the not so good stuff, if you're a character in Corrie.
So let's talk about Carla, because she's got a beady eye fixed firmly on Becky Swain, hasn't she? Honestly, Carla can spot a liar at 50 paces, and it seems like she's completely clocked Becky's story about being spied on. Even Lisa is starting to get that uneasy feeling, wondering if her own wife is telling the full truth, which, you can imagine, is causing huge friction between them. Becky's taking massive offence, playing the victim and going on about how Lisa doesn't trust her, the classic deflection technique. It's all getting a bit tense behind the scenes at number 6, and I wouldn't want to be caught in the middle of that. Carla, bless her, is trying to shake some sense into Lisa. She's saying, look, if Becky was actually in genuine peril, why on earth would she keep her little girl Betsy in that situation? That's Carla's very sensible argument, and it's hard to disagree with her logic there. It's a huge gamble with a child's safety, so either Becky's completely naive or she's pulling a fast one. And Carla is definitely leaning towards the latter. You just know if Carla's got a bee in her bonnet about something, she's usually spot on, and she's not going to let this go quietly. The absolute kicker here, though, is the moment that Carla is urging Lisa to wise up and see through the lies. Becky stood right there listening to the whole brutal conversation. Can you believe the brass neck of her? That's going to kick off a proper Barney, isn't it? Becky knows Carla's onto her game, whatever that game might be, and this is where the drama's really going to start. Viewers will definitely have something to say about how quickly Carla sniffed this out. I reckon Becky's totally hiding something, and it's something big. You don't take risks like that with your family unless you've got a seriously dodgy secret to protect or you're trying to manipulate someone. Carla is now officially her enemy, and we all know what happens when you cross Carla Connor. This could really shake things up for Lisa and Becky's marriage, and I'm honestly buzzing to see Carla completely expose her when the time comes.
4. Will Driscoll's secret meeting. It looks like the Driscoll clan have their work cut out for him with young Will, don't it? Ava and Ben are obviously trying their best to get him settled and back into a positive routine, so Ava ropes in her pal James to try and motivate him with some personal training sessions, hoping it will spark his interest in athletics again. Bless their hearts for trying, but honestly the lad is having none of it. He's more interested in staring at his phone than running round a track. It's a classic teenage rebellion, and you can almost feel Ava and Ben's frustration bubbling away. Now, things get a bit shifty when Will tells them he's heading off to Leeds for a meeting with his old athletics team. That sounds perfectly reasonable, don't it? A nice trip to see old friends and coaches. But of course, this is Coronation Street, so you immediately know it's a big fat lie. He's definitely fibbing about where he's going and what he's up to. The moment that secret gets exposed is just priceless. His coach, Megan, of all people, drops him home. You can just imagine the silence in that living room when she walks through the door, completely shattering his alibi. That unexpected encounter totally throws Ben off, and to cover the sheer awkwardness, he quickly insists on treating Megan to a pub lunch. You can practically see the panic in Ben's eyes trying to work out what's going on and what Megan might accidentally let slip. Will, meanwhile, looks absolutely miserable because his web of lies is starting to unravel right in front of him. This situation is fraught with tension, and it feels like Ben is getting dangerously close to uncovering whatever Will is actually hiding, don't it? The big question now is what on earth is Will really up to instead of going to these so-called meetings? Is he in some sort of trouble? Is he meeting someone he shouldn't be? Whatever it is, that pub lunch between Ben and Megan is going to be incredibly uncomfortable, and I seriously doubt the truth will stay hidden for long. You just know this is going to end in tears for someone, either Will getting into deeper trouble or the family being left completely heartbroken. Viewers will definitely have something to say about this teenager's sneaky behaviour.
Finally, the trouble at the Metcalfs doesn't stop. Lou's been in a fight behind bars and is due up in court. Sally and Tim decide not to tell Brody, Lou's son, because they're trying to shield him, but then Kit the copper drops him in it, and Brody is absolutely furious. He totally lashes out, accusing him of stopping him from supporting his estranged mother, and he even goes as far as branding them useless foster parents, and he's clearly very upset. The problem is, Joni and her social worker have overheard everything. That's a huge mistake that could put the Metcalfs fostering in jeopardy. On a separate note, Sally spots Tim checking out Trisha's social media, yes, that woman, and she brands her a predator again, telling him to change the record. Honestly, sometimes Tim is his own worst enemy. Right, that's everything for a massive week on the cobbles, from David and Shona's Heartbreak right down to Brody's massive slip-up. Which storyline are you most worried about? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the chat and hit that subscribe bell to join our little community. I'll see you all next time for more soap gossip. Cheerio!